Hello, my friends, my wonderful Stampin' Peeps. I'm so glad you're joining me today. It's a fabulous day to create something awesome. And we're going to create a couple little thank you 3-pocket slimline cards today. Let me show you. I'm going to show you on this first one. We'll go into this one later. But it just kind of ties here on the side. And when you open it up, we get this great 3-pocket, and you see we have these great little cards that go inside. So you can do whatever you want on these. You can write messages, words of thanks and support, whatever you want to do. It's a really fun one. We're going to use, well, actually I got 2 different ones. This one is created with 12 by 12 designer series paper. And then this one, I want to show you how to do it with 8.5 by 11 cardstock. Because I know some of you like to make yours with cardstock. It's a tiny bit smaller. It's real. I mean, yeah, it's just a little bit smaller, but I wanted to give you 2 options today. So let me bring my fabulous friends on here with me. And well, that's a creative. Yeah, I was like, I don't think anyone needs
There we go. I hit the wrong button.
Woo, no, you're good. So someone is celebrating a birthday today. Today's Christina's birthday, and yay, she's live. So I'm gonna sing you a birthday song. Okay. This is your birthday song. It isn't very long. Okay, so Brent, how are you doing?
Good. I'm doing well. Thank you for that.
Christina, by the way, we both have our toppers. She's got her birthday toppers on.
Yeah, they got sprinkles.
You got sprinkles. Her birthday sprinkles are on.
I like it. I like it a lot. So I was just looking at that card. I think that cash would fit in each of those pockets.
Ooh.
Yeah.
You should fill that and send that to me for any reason.
Maybe with $100 bills or so.
Sure.
Several in each pocket. Sure. Christina would like that for her birthday. Yeah. She's not going to care that it says thank you. If it's got cash in it, she's going to take it.
Exactly. Thank you for being born. I get it.
Thank you for being born.
Yes.
She is my firstborn, so she's the one that made me a mom.
Yeah,
of course, it was Brenda who got me through motherhood, let me tell you.
That's true.
Holy moly.
It's okay.
That woman taught me everything.
We are too similar, which meant through my teenage and younger years, we just butted heads constantly.
I was going to say teenage. How about toddler?
Yeah.
When I first, first of all, I was terrified to be a mother. Oh my gosh, terrified. Even at the hospital, they'd say, Christina needs a diaper change. Do you want to change her? And I go, no, you go ahead. I mean, I was just like terrified. And we brought her home and we put her in the crib, and I just looked at her and I looked at Rich and I went, what do we do? I mean, I didn't know what to do. And Brenda was so great because it was like, oh, I need to get a baby bath thing. She goes, what do you need that for? I said, well, I got to give her a bath and I got to have something to put it in the sink. And she goes, put a big towel down and you bathe her and then,
in the sink.
And I was like, oh, because she's like, where are you going to store this giant baby bath thing? I'm like, I don't know. And so she was great. Brenda's like old school motherhood. And she got me out of all of the, you need this and this and this.
Mm-hmm.
And my goodness, 20 plus, that's all we'll say, Christina, 20 plus years later.
Yeah.
The baby market has boomed and you need 3 times as much as what I thought we needed. So
I'm willing to admit, today I am celebrating my first 29th birthday.
That's true. Okay. Yes.
Yay.
And yes, this is my Starbucks birthday drink, which is the only reason I got it, because it's free on my birthday.
I have to tell you, this morning, my husband and I pray we get up and do a devotion and pray every morning. And we looked at each other and we were just like, how is Christina 29? How did that happen?
Tell me about it.
We blinked. Yeah. We blinked. So
goodness, Brenda, how many times did we think I was going in labor?
Oh, good Lord. A lot.
Well, just to put it in perspective, my due date was the 4th of July.
Yes. Yes.
So what do Brenda and I do? We go camping and we go hiking in Yellowstone.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that what everyone does on their due date?
That's why I stayed in.
You wanted to go to
This is
Yellowstone.
what a horrible, like, mother to be. I'm like, nah, it'll be fine. There's not a hospital anywhere nearby. And here I'm just going to go hiking in Yellowstone.
There's ambulances.
Yeah.
Hey, there was a nurse there.
Yeah.
There was a nurse there. I would have been fine.
You'd have been fine.
Yeah.
It worked out.
It did.
Oh, Sandy says her twin daughters were born on the 4th.
I love that.
Fun.
Oh, how fun.
That's awesome. Well, it looks like we have a good group here.
We do.
Yeah.
Some great deals on stamps at thrift shops. And
all right.
Lots of happy birthdays to our Christina girl.
Yay.
Yeah. Thank you guys.
Yay, Christina.
Honolulu, Virginia, Saginaw, Michigan. We are good to go. So
heck yeah.
With that, Connie.
Okay.
Are
we ready to
start it?
You know, we do always like to do a little chat and give everyone a chance to get on. So
I agree. And it's important.
And it's just good to catch up with everybody. And we learn things like Sandy's twin girls are born on July 4th. How cool.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
All right. Let's jump in because to create both of these cards, we're going to have to really get going.
Oh, God.
Not you. All right. Let's flip everything around. Okay, friends, here we go. I'm going to set my original off to the side. And, really quick, because there's scoring, there's cutting, there's all kinds of stuff. Guys, go grab your free download. You're going to find this at simplysimplestamping.com. Look for the July 24th, 2025 post. You'll find it. Brenda's going to share the link to the download as well. But listen, this is going to have everything you need. So you'll have your measurements and you'll have your supplies. You'll have your photos, a QR code that you can scan to come back here and watch the video again. And yes, with this one, you probably will need to come back and watch the video again. Okay. And then, of course, if you are looking for a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator or you're ready to get into stamping, hey, guys, I'd love to be your demonstrator. I apologize for my lousy printing, but there's your full supply list. And you can follow this link or click this image, and it'll take you over to my online store. Any of the products I'm using today, those products are going to be sitting there waiting for you. And you can order anything that you need. I appreciate your orders. Thank you. It's what helps kind of keep me in business. So I appreciate that. Let's jump in. So this one that we're going to create first is our designer series paper version. So I've got a piece of 12 by 12 designer series paper, and this is from the Everyday Happiness. Okay. And guys, I apologize. Something is going wrong with my voice. I don't know what's going on, but it's like fading and I don't know why. Anyway, so stick with me. So this is the Everyday Happiness. And I'm going to teach you some tips and tricks for your cutting and scoring, okay? So I'm going to bring in my paper trimmer. I don't want to do this on my Simply Scored board, okay? Because I need to do my scoring very lightly, okay? So first of all, let's get the cutting blade out of the way. You're going to want to flip that arm out. You know, I know many of you didn't even know that arm flips out. Yes, it does. So what you want to do is if your designer series has a pattern, and like, let's say I want my pattern to go this direction, okay? We want to have that up at the top of our paper trimmer to start, okay? So if you have a more distinct pattern, flowers, vines, which I want my vines going this way, not sideways, have that up at the top. We're going to score this, and it's easy scoring, guys. And remember what I said before, we want light scoring. Don't press too hard, okay? Because some of these score lines we're going to have to cut through. We're going to score at 3 inches, at 6 inches, and 9 inches. So basically we are scoring it in fourths, okay? Now let's rotate our designer series paper. Either way is fine. It's not going to matter because we're now going to score this in half at 6 inches, okay? Pattern up at the top, 3, 6, 9. Rotate it, score it in half at 6 inches, okay? So now we're going to do some cutting. So give me just a second to get my graphics that I need here. All right, now there's the 3-inch piece. I know it's hard to see. There's my 6-inch lines and my 4 little panels, we'll call them, okay? We want the pretty side, whatever side, like I want this to be the front of my card, okay, of my pockets. Whatever you want to be there, we want that facing up, okay? So let's get that faced up. We are going to take this and we're going to be cutting off over here. So I'm going to line this up at 3 inches, okay? 3 inches. Got to find my lines. We want to cut off 3, 6, and 9. We're going to cut to that 9-inch score line. So we're going to be cutting off quite a bit. 3, 6. By the way, here, let me scoot that up. Maybe you can see it. But right there is the 9-inch line because those score lines are very faint. So we're going to go to that 9-inch line to cut. Okay, see how we did that? We're now going to cut this off. And I can just line it up at 3 inches. And cut down to 3 inches, and that's going to allow this to come off. Okay, so we should have something like this. Okay, I always get nervous that I'm going to do it wrong. When I was shooting my reels today, I did it wrong. Okay, now we're going to do some folding. Okay, so this is the inside of my pocket. Find a bone folder here. Now it is designer series paper, so fold or crease it with your bone folder kind of gently, okay? I'm going to unfold it, and I'm going to fold over and under. Luckily, the score lines will really tell you right where to go. Even though they're light, you should be able to find them, okay? All right, I'm going to give that another fold up. So it's going to be 1, 2, and 3. Now, see how you can see just a little bit? You can see just a little bit over there. Let's do, I'm just catching a little bit right here, and this can happen, right? So I'm going to go ahead and bring my paper trimmer back in. This can happen. I'm not too worried about it. I'm going to bring this back in. And friends, I'm going to just cut off a hair, okay? Not a lot. And the recipient will not even realize this is there, okay? But can you see? Oh, there's my hair. Okay, just a sliver. It's just going to kind of help it a little bit. So again, because we have all these folds going in, this wants to be a little stubborn. All right, we're going to come in now. We're going to create some notches right here. So I'm going to unfold this. And I've got my 1 3/4 inch circle punch. Any circle punch would do, or you can skip this altogether. All right, it does not matter. And I'm going to line up my punch. And the punch itself is 3 inches. And remember, our little squares are 3 inches. So that makes it really easy to know where to punch. So you can see I just punched right in the middle. So now I can come over to this one. And you want to just kind of try to keep those at about the same distance down. Okay, so about like that. I think I'm wearing it. This one can be a little bit tricky because this piece is here. But you know what? We can get it in there. That should stay out of your way enough. Just enough to get that in there. Whoops. All right. Notches done. We're going to put this card together. And what we want to do is this, we're going to need the multi-purpose glue. You guys know I'm not necessarily a fan of this stuff, but, and I'm going to get, where's my silicone mat? Because you guys know I'm a little messy. So this right here, so this last edge, keep it very thin and right up to the edge. Okay, we do not want a lot here. I'm going, look, I even have some oozing out, which I don't necessarily want. But let's see if we can get that off of there. I told you, multi-purpose glue and I are not best friends, but tear and tape would be too thick. My little pocket wouldn't fit in there. My Stampin' Seal, it's not going to work. Okay, so we want that there. Oops, should have done this one before I did that one. So I'm going to now adhere this big panel. Nothing crazy, okay? But we're going to adhere that one down.
Carolyn said that she wishes this paper was wallpaper, and now I'm mentally doing the math to figure out how much DSP I would have to buy to the room.
I agree. And listen, if you guys have followed me, I use this pattern, and I think there's 4 pieces in a pack, and I use it all the time. It's my favorite, and I keep buying more of the paper because I love this pattern so much. All right, so you can see how this is going to go together. And let me show you, it's a little tight right here. So just kind of do your best to fold it up and then kind of come in and give things another press, okay? All right. I'm going to let this set aside and dry, and we're going to work on the inserts. All right, so I'll set that there. I've got 3 pieces of Lost Lagoon. And let me get my measurements for you guys. And I know Brenda will put them up there too. Lost Lagoon, these are 2.5 by 5 1/4. I'm going to use the tags of thanks for today's card. And we've got 3 messages we want to do. Oh, you know what? I've got one more thing. I've got a 1 3/4 inch circle punch I'm going to use as well. All right, friends, pretty peacock. And it doesn't matter what you stamp where, because we'll put these wherever we need them. But some of the sentiments that we're going to add here are a little bit longer than the others. So we're going to kind of try to keep them about the same. Oops, I've got this one here. Couldn't do it without you. Okay. That glue, I'm telling, see, this is why multi-purpose glue and I are not fast friends. On the circle, we're just going to simply stamp thank you, okay? All right, let me get these out of my way. And I'm going to set this off to the side. We do have a tiny bit more stamping to do, but we're going to come back to it because we're going to bring in that piece of designer series paper. This is that piece we cut off, okay? We're going to cut a little more. And this is easy. We're going to cut off 3 pieces that are 1/4 inch. Okay. I thought I have it. I wanted to use a little bit more of it. Why not? So we're going to cut those. Now I need to tell you, these are a little bit longer than my cards. So I'm going to find the card that has the sentiment that's furthest down, and it's going to be this So Lucky to Know You. So I'm going to start with that one. Oh, bring in this glue again. I know some of you love it, and I love that you do. It just does not like me back. So I'm not going to go all the way to the end because I'm going to line this up here. Okay. And we're going to be trimming that down. I'm going to let that dry for a minute before I trim it. And then we're going to add another one. And I'm just going to slide it right underneath there. It's going to help me make sure I'm lining all these up right. So again, I don't have to go all the way to that end. But I'll just tuck it under. Oops. Come on. There we go. All right. There we go. Okay. See, look, glue. Ugh. All right, one more. And we'll add this one here. This is just kind of helping me. When it sits in the pocket, we want all these little strips to line up nice and straight. So this is my little method to make sure I do that. Okay, now we will just simply trim these off. And then we're going to adhere these down to a pretty peacock layer. And I'm not going to use my multi-purpose glue. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal. So I've got pretty peacock pieces. And these should be 2 3/4 by 5.5. Yep, so they're just a little bit bigger. We'll add these. Gives a great look inside this pocket, right? And then we're going to create a simple, very simple little tag on the front. And remember, guys, I've got, don't leave me, because I've got another card to share that's going to show you how to do this with which is cardstock. So these can go wherever you want. Okay, there's no right or wrong here. Now on this last one, remember we've glued this down. It's a tight fit. Okay, it's a tight fit, but it fits. So that's why I said you needed just the tiniest bit of glue right there. So now you can see where we're at. All right, I've got a piece of cloud cover faux linen ribbon, 22 inches to be exact. This one I am going to have you measure it, because we want the recipient to be able to retie this. You know, we don't want to skimp on the ribbon on this one. Now you can see I'm going to go all the way over here off the card itself. Okay, we'll just tighten a bow, and like I said, we've got plenty here. Give that a good tight pull. Now it's going to want to go a little wonky, so just grab those, give it a twist, and it'll kind of lay flat there. We're going to center that up in our card. I'm going to grab a little piece of Scotch tape, just a little, to kind of hold that in place. Don't worry, we're going to be covering it. So I have got let's see, this was a 1 3/4 inch circle punch that we stamped on. We're going to add that to a 2-inch circle punch of Lost Lagoon. And we're going to adhere that to a 2 3/8 inch Pretty Peacock circle. Now I'm going to bring in my Stampin' Dimensionals, and I want to avoid the ribbon. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to flip it down, and I'm going to kind of put my dimensionals in a little bit of a square. I want to avoid where that ribbon sits. Okay. So I just want to keep, I want to keep this opening clear. We're going to cover up that tape because that would be tacky. We'll add that. Now let's do a little decorating. And for that, I'm going to bring in the Everyday You and Me. This stamp set matches this paper. Now, I don't scrapbook. And so this one was kind of made for a scrapbook, but I found I've been able to use these stamps on a lot of things. But all of these flowers and leaves, I love. So let me show you what we're going to do. It's just a scrap here. I've got Pretty Peacock, Lost Lagoon, and Gray Granite. So I'm going to start with a small flower in Lost Lagoon. And then I'm going to stamp there's just some little speckles. I don't know. These have a word. You guys know, I don't know anything about flowers. The little, I don't know, the stamen, I guess. Anyway, in Pretty Peacock. And now in Gray Granite, we're going to stamp one of the leaves. I think on my original one, I used like 2 of these, but it doesn't matter, whatever you want to do. So we're going to take our die cuts. And if you don't have the die cuts, these are so easy to fussy cut. Okay, super easy. So we're going to take our dies. Whoops, I still have glue on my fingers, you guys. All right, this looks like the right one. Okay, we're going to die cut those. And through the magic of television, I do have them done for you. And I've just adhered them together. Okay, so pretty simple. I'm going to add this here. And it looks like I just need a Stampin' Dimensional down here on the end. And then just a little adhesive on the top of the flower. So let's add that right there. Because remember, that's done with dimensionals. There we go. So now the recipient gets it and they untie it. And we've got this fabulous fabulous little cards. This would be great if you had several people in the office, or, you know, your Sunday school group, and everyone wanted to sign and say thank you to a teacher, whatever. I think these are so fun. And again, especially if you're one that you have a lot to say, you've got a lot of space there to write some messages. And of course, you could make this birthday, or you could make this anniversary and have the whole family sign, whatever you want to do. So much fun. Okay, guys, if you will give me just 1 second, I need to clean up all of my stamps so I can get ready for my other card. And while I do that, hey, Christina, why don't we show off our members? Would you be able to do that for me? Oh, you're muted, Christina. She's trying to get it pulled up. But yeah, there's so much here, guys. And so I got to get everything kind of flipped over. So I will get all this out of the way. There we go. Here we go.
So a big thank you to our Simply Simple supporters. We love them. Our Funfold friends who get all of our diagrams.
Yes, we love them. And I don't know the diagrams.
Get our full written tutorials. We love getting to go live with you guys every month.
Absolutely.
Make a fun, slow-paced card together.
Thank you guys so much. I'm having so much fun on the membership. And hey, if you're a member, watch out. I got something new coming. Something new coming. It's going to be pretty awesome. So stick around. I was going to share it this morning, but I didn't have time. So I'll share it with you later. I need a black ink pad. Where did my black ink pad go?
I can see it on the screen.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
That brings up how many of us lose something right in front of us all
the time. All the time. Okay, here we go, guys. All right. So this one I'm going to do in 8.5 by 11. And I'm going to be using basic white thick. Just seemed pretty simple to do. So let me show you how you're going to score and cut this one, because it is a little bit different. Okay. So again, cutting blade out of the way, out of the way. We need that arm pulled out. Okay. So I got the 11 inches up at the top. We are going to score this at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/4. That's going to give me 4 equal pieces, 2 3/4. Okay. We're going to rotate it and see what I've got. No pattern. I don't have to worry about any of that here. We're going to cut this now, or cut. I'm sorry. Forgive me. We're going to score at 2 3/4 along the long side. So there's a 2 3/4, and here's these long pieces, because I know it's hard to see. Okay. So I want my little squares. Okay. We had our 4 little squares. I want those over here. And what I want to do, let's see. I'm going to flip it around. Here's my squares. Let's do it this way. It's a little bit easier. I'm going to cut off. No, I am going to do it this way. Sorry. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm going to do it right. We're going to take this to the 2 3/4. So this first square, we're just going to cut off 1 square. Remember last time we cut off 3. We're only going to cut off 1 on this card. So we'll go 2 3/4, and we'll rotate it around. I'm just lining up that notch right there, or you could set this at 8 1/4, whatever works best for you. And just until you feel it cut loose. Okay. So we should have something like this. All right. Let's see. I think I'm done with this. Yay. So let's go ahead and do some folding. So this is my outside panel, and you're always going to want the cover, let's say. You're always going to want that on your left side. All right. So we're going to fold this up, because now we kind of know what these pockets look like, right? I'm going to go ahead. I'm just going to kind of give everything a good crease. You know, with cardstock, it's a little bit different how I'm going to do this. I'm going to fold all of these in And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to fold the opposite direction. I want them to be really nice and flexible. You know what I mean? I want these things to have, there we go. So good, flexy, flexy. We're all good to go. Okay. Let's bring in our 1 3/4 inch circle punch. But first, let's add some designer series paper. We're going to add some designer series paper. Now, for this one, you're going to want this designer series paper on here before we punch. So let's just go ahead and do this real quick. How are we doing on time? Yeah, we're going to be running late today, guys, but I hope you'll stick with me for this card because it's way cool.
Hey, Connie.
Yes.
You ought to see the comments coming in of what people lose and are looking for. Glasses on their forehead, their keys in their hand, their cell phone while they're
while talking. Yep.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. There's one who's her pet is if she's losing paper, her dog is probably eating it.
You know, the card that I shared with my members this month, we did it in July. My dog got a hold of the card and it was a really detailed card. And I'm like, oh, Tugger, no, please, please, please. And I'm like begging. And of course he thinks it's a game and off he goes. And I'm like, oh Lord, please don't tear up this card. It had a little slobber on it. And luckily my viewers were great. They couldn't see it. It was all on the back. So that was good. But those dogs, I'm telling you. Guys, I'm using what is this? I got to move my stuff here. This is Botanical Textures. And my little squares were 2.5 by 2.5. And these are 2.5 by 5.5. Okay, is that right? That doesn't seem right to me. I'm going to measure. Why do I feel like that's not right? No, I was right. All right. Hey, always a good thing. So we're going to put this one on the front and on the back. You know, sometimes it's just better to check yourself, right? I don't want to tell you guys incorrectly. And I just thought this card was really pretty in black and white. Okay. So we've got all our little squares. And now, you remember how we did this? We're going to do it again. Remember, these squares are 2 3/4. Our punch is 3 inches. So you're going to go just a little bit beyond each side. Okay, just a tish. We're going to punch into each one of these. And again, let me be clear. This part is very optional. It's just cute, but definitely not something you have to do. All right, one more. Yep, just kind of line it up a little bit off of each side. Okay, there we go. Pieces everywhere. Oh, green glue. Green glue. Here we go again. We're going to do that exact same thing. But you know, this is why I like my silicone mat, because that's how easy it cleans up. All right, here we go, friends. We're going to put that really thin line of glue right here. Don't go off the side here. Okay, we just want it on that edge. Okay. Yeah, we got a little oozy, but that's all right. I try. I know some of you have like some kind of really cool tool that puts up really thin lines. I need to figure out what that is and get it. Okay, I got a little glue here, but I have a little adhesive eraser I can get that off with. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. Remember last time we had something to flip up and adhere here? We don't, because this one's smaller. All right, so we're going to set that off to the side here for a minute. And now let's bring in, I've got 3 pieces of basic white. I've got tricks on this one too. And these are 2 1/4 by 5 1/4. For this one, I'm going to use the textured note stamp set because it matches the designer series paper. And we have 3 sentiments that just happen to be perfect for thank yous. So how perfect was that? Remember, when it comes to sentiments, you can bring in whatever you want. You know, there's not a right or wrong there. I'm going to be using my Memento black ink pad, that one that I couldn't find earlier. That's the one. I'm going to stamp a little note of appreciation. I'm going to stamp thank you. Oh, and let me bring in another 1 3/4 inch white circle punch. And I'll stamp thank you. By the way, remember this square that we cut out? You could punch your sentiment from that because we're not going to be using it on anything. Now, I got a trick with this one. So you are seriously the best. Great sentiment. It's too long. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to get creative. I'm going to need my chamois here. I'm going to start by just inking up the word you are. And let's see, did I get it all? I think I'm a little heavy. Let me try that again. Okay. It's a thin line sentiment, so I don't want to press really hard. You are. And as long as we don't get any of that S, we're good. I'm going to stamp you are. Clean your stamp really, really good. Now we're going to go to the end and we're going to stamp the best. It really is pretty easy to do, you guys. We will do that. If you get any of that other, you can just kind of wipe it off there. So I want to leave some space, but you are and the best are about the same size. So I can line those two up. Clean your stamp. Now, for seriously, look what I'm going to do. I'm going to try this. I'm just going to go right there in the middle. I got this stuff on either side. So let me show you what I'm going to do. Rather than try to wipe that off, this is sometimes just the fastest and easiest way. We'll add some tape there. Now, I know a lot of you like to use like your black marker and things. It's just not my favorite way. So I hope you will forgive me, but that's just not my jam. We're going to put that right there. So the only thing I see is the word seriously. Right? Yep. Okay. Double checking myself. You are seriously the best. Boom. Boom. Throw this away. But hey, it made it nice and fast, right? Okay. Got to get that out of my way. And now we are going to get rid of this. And we are going to do a little stamping with this leaf because it matches my card front, right? So I'm going to be doing some stamping off. This stamp in black is pretty dark, although it has its lightness, right? What I'm going to do here, I've stamped off once. Stamp off. We're going to add some leaves there. Now for this one, I'm going to stamp, don't re-ink, stamp, don't re-ink, stamp. Okay, so there's one. This one, let's put, whoops, like I said, I do want to stamp off just to make it a little lighter. We'll stamp that there. And one more, and this one will stamp the other direction. And you know what? I'm not even going to bother to re-ink this again, but we'll get a little bit right there, okay? If you're not sure how light you want it, practice it on that grid paper before you do anything. All right, friends, you know what? I'm going to kind of move things along. We have 3 pieces of basic black, and these are 2.5 by 5.5. You will adhere these down. Of course, you remember how we did this one. I'm going to go ahead and do it because I want to share just, well, you know, really it all goes together the exact same way, honestly. Let me go ahead and bring this in because we're going to adhere that. We're going to add the ribbon. It's all going to go together in the exact same way. Nothing really changes there. So we've got a thank you. You are seriously the best. And a little note of appreciation. Aren't these just fun? Now, I don't have an envelope this will fit in because it's just a little bit different size. But I just think these are super pretty. And I love the look. And I love to create something a little bit different sometimes. And I hope you guys do too. I know because there are some tips and tricks, you'll probably need to come back and watch the video again. But I do want you to have all the tips that you need when you go to recreate these. Sorry, I got to tie these up again because I don't like them open. But I love these. I hope you do too. Which one's your favorite? Are you a designer series paper fan? Do you really like to create just with cardstock and add those little bits? Because, of course, this one we used a lot less of our designer series paper. We do tend to hoard it. I know. But yeah, so I think whether you want to use a full sheet and let that be all of your decor, or if you want to cut it and adhere it, either way, that is going to work great. By the way, if you wanted to create this one with designer series paper, just cut your designer series paper to 8.5 by 11. Okay, you can do that too. So don't think this can only be made with designer series or with cardstock, because you could cut your designer series paper down as well. Either way, can't go wrong. Friends, thank you all so much for being here. I know we went a little bit long today because those were 2 detailed cards, but I was so glad I could show you both versions. And I'd love to give you guys options. So now, for those of you that want a little bit more out of the videos that I share, maybe you want those diagrams, or maybe you want written tutorials, be sure to check out the YouTube membership, because over there, if you're a FunFold friend, that's $4.99 a month, you'll get diagrams for every video that I do, and our super fun happy hour over the top FunFold that we all create together. And then if you like written tutorials to go along with all the videos, you're going to want to be a fancy fold fanatic. And that one, you're going to get the diagrams, you're going to get the written tutorials, and you're going to get the happy hour where we create our amazing over the top FunFold together. When I say together, I mean together. We do it together. We take it nice and slow and create. It's really fun. And then, like I said, I've got some new things coming up for you guys, and just go check it out. See what you think. Maybe give it a try. You can cancel anytime, but we really do have a good time over there, and I'd love to have you guys be a part. You saw in the middle of the video, we had a lot of people on there. Oh, you know what? I almost forgot. Creativate Retreat is this weekend. For those of you who have been to a Creativate Retreat, you know it's all online. It's all about you. You can watch when you want, whenever you want. We're going to be doing the Stamping with You live on Friday night and Saturday. But even if you're not available, you can always come back and watch the replays. We also have what we kind of call our short and sweet videos. So if you just want to kind of get right down to it and create, we've got that for you as well. Guys, 48 tutorials. We've got 8 YouTube lives. It's so much fun to spend a weekend that we have set aside just for us. I encourage you, go over to simplysimplestamping.com, look in the blue menu bar for Creativate News, and you can read all about it. It's not too late. Retreat starts tomorrow night, but we'd love to have you join, especially if you're a newbie to the Creativate Retreats, guys. I can't tell you how many times I've heard the phrase, this is my first retreat, and it certainly will not be my last. We hear that a lot. And it really is. It's a fun weekend. We create, we build friendships and connections with stampers from all over the world. It's a blast. Let's see. This is our 22nd retreat, I believe. We've been doing 22 of them. We do one once a quarter. And so I hope some of you will leave some comments if you've been to the retreats. I have to put my eyeballs back on and see, but I'm sure we have some people. Oh, Mary says she has a binder for all of Connie's designs. Oh my gosh, I love that. So yeah, you guys let us know if you've been to the retreats, and if you love them as much as we love putting them on. It is going to be a blast. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and close. I love you guys. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to come on and share and just being with me. And this was so much fun. I love these little 3-pocket cards. Give it a try. Hey, remember what I tell you. It's a new fold. If you need to try it with an 8.5 by 11 sheet of copy paper, try that. Okay. Try it with copy paper first. Get comfortable with it, and then bring in your cardstock. Okay. All right, friends. Oh, Margene says she's been to every single retreat. I'm telling you, if that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what will. She has been to 22, or I guess 21. She's coming to the 22nd. She's been to every single one of them. Is that just awesome? That's so cool. Oh, Kathy says she hasn't missed one either. Okay, guys, it's telling you, it's awesome. Oh, and then I love this. Sandy says, this is my second retreat. It's awesome. See, I told you, once you go to one, you go, oh, now I can't miss. So I hope you guys will join us this weekend. Thanks so much for being a part of the video today. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.